are not the father.
What was I saying before? So you think you were being a woman about it, seeing as you didn't get rowdy, you tried to communicate with him face to face, and he didn't answer the phone, and you told his mother. You thought that you were being a woman, quote unquote woman, about it by the route that you took. But in hindsight, and if it was the other way around, in which you were the person looking out, looking into the situation, do you think that everything that you did, everything that transpired, do you think that was the best?
Well, I tried. Listen, Cedric is the most stubborn person that I've ever met.
But you laid down to have a child with him, so evidently you knew.
No, but listen, no, I didn't know him. Listen, it was a one-night stand.
Okay, so if that makes it even more shocking and daunting that he's a one-night stand. So then here you go. You still decide to have his child, and you guys barely know each other. You guys are learning to know each other in a predicament where you guys are pregnant, you're pregnant, and you're still trying to learn.
This is the thing. When I first told him, when I thought he was, I told him, look, if you want to be that type of guy who doesn't want to be a part of this, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
So you wanted to have the baby regardless?
Yeah, I didn't even want to be with Cedric. I didn't want to be in a relationship, period.
Okay.
I didn't want to be in a relationship, period. But he was the one that was like, oh, let's try it, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Don't date me. So here's my question.
Okay.
Did any thought occur to you to keep everything discreet until you found out? First of all, A, if you were going to do the test, not tell anyone. Discreetly do the test. When you found out, discreetly keep that information to yourself. And wait till you and Cedric were in a place by yourself. And then have that conversation. Regardless of what he would have done, the fact, I think several things went wrong. My own opinion.
Okay, go ahead.
A, I don't think that everybody should have been bought in on the situation. If you needed a ride or you needed to get there, maybe trust one person. But there's got to be something said to leaving some of that information for yourself and Cedric. I think part of it too is the fact that A, you've now involved everybody in what is an embarrassing situation to him. And regardless of how, because here's the thing, if it were the other way around, and you were his girlfriend, and he went out and slept with someone and had a baby, and you were the person on the outside looking in, or if he cheated on you, this would be a whole different conversation. Everybody would be in an uproar. Like, there's got to be something said to take into account his feelings and what was going on, and how large it seems that this has gotten.
Okay, but here's the thing.
What?
As far as the DNA, as far as the DNA testing, I didn't know anything about this. Cedric didn't have.
How did the idea to have the DNA?
Well, this is the thing. From what I heard, it was his brother. Cedric didn't even have doubts. It was his brother who had doubts. So they're speaking and not speaking with me. We got into an argument one night, and just things went left. We got into.
But even if his brother had doubts, and he came to you,
and he still didn't come to me,
or regardless, I would have been for me. I would have been like, you know what? Plant the seed in my head. I wouldn't have even told anybody. You talk and talk. You and your brother talk to pali. I would have let everybody talk. Secretly, I would have taken my baby, had my blood drawn, had his blood drawn. I guess, obviously, in order to get the DNA test, he's got to be involved.
It seems as though, like, everything that we're saying, she's negating. But, you know you guys are two stubborn people at the same time.
Oh, I know I am.
Okay, so...
I know I am.
So that makes the situation turn even more,
fuckery.
explosive than it really needs to
no,
be.
Fuckery is the right word.
Yeah, fuckery as well, because it's just like you guys are both negating things. Like, you guys always have a rebuttal. But I think if it didn't get so exposed, the situation.
Listen, as far as the exposure,
you have to.
I want to hear the exposure. Hold on.
As far as the exposure, I had nothing to do with the exposure. I wanted
you
to
told
fix
him on text.
Yes, because of the
why
fact
don't we
that
break up with him on a post-it? Don't you watch Sex in the City?
No,
you really are young.
I get that, but if somebody is not trying to be in front of you,
was it that important to tell him at that given moment? You couldn't wait any
regardless
longer.
If he thought whatever, even if he said, you know what, if you don't tell me, I'm gonna assume. I would have held silent. You at some point,
because now you're being a woman and you're being like a person with this child here. Because now the child has all the scrutiny.
Thank God he's young enough.
Exactly. And because you're in the heat of the moment, you're being stubborn, you're in the heat of the moment, you're angry, and because you want to feel better about the situation, so you have to like spew all this venom just to try to have some sort of backbone and say, I'm not the one who's wrong. I know, although I did this wrong, but at least I was woman enough to do this. It doesn't even matter if you're woman enough to quote unquote. You don't see the quote unquote. This woman.
There's
enough.
a quote, people. There's a quote.
Air quotes. So I have a question. So what responsibility do you think you take in this?
Yes, that was my next.
I just want to know, where do you see yourself in fault in the whole situation?
I mean,
because we all see where Cedric's fault is. But go ahead.
As you guys said, I should have held it and held my guns and be like, look, this is something that we have to speak face to face. Really, I think that's the only thing.
That's the only thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what else? Okay, after him learning via text that this happened, I think what happened, he exposed it on Twitter.
Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, okay. So, what after... What
more?
happened after that situation?
Yeah.
Because although he exposed it on Twitter and Facebook, right? Which, so now he's wrong in two ways. The fact that he doesn't want to answer to find out what the paternity test revealed. And secondly, the fact that he exposed it on Facebook and Twitter. Now, when did you feel as though, like, okay, like, now it's getting really crazy. Maybe let me step back for a minute and think about this. Or was there ever a point, or did you just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna go into just spewing?
Can you backtrack? What happened? What happened after? So he put.
I'm just trying to figure out, like.
So he posted.
She didn't take the opportunity to sit back and try to like digest everything. She just automatically reacted, which is normal.
What was the reaction?
And then I don't know. She's gonna have to say.
Oh wait,
herself.
go ahead, Nene. No. Go ahead, Nene.
Oh, she's gonna be there. You said the name.
So when Cedric posted the thing on Twitter, there was, his ex-girlfriend that he allegedly cheated on with Cynthia, and all her friends and some of his friends and his family all went on Twitter and Facebook and apparently BBM and was slandering her name.
Yes.
Just calling her names, calling her baby ugly. They went out.
And you said nothing, right?
No.
No.
So this is where I felt she went wrong. She went, and I understand she was angry. Like, you're angry in the moment, it's totally understandable. But she went in, and then she even crossed the lines to the gangster, when like, crippler, il dit, bon, mais adresse moi, viens chercher si nous capable. That right there, I was just done. That's when I was like, you know what?
Yes, and
so
you're right.
What was the thought process?
You're right. I should have never.
What were you thinking?
Well,
or you could just say you weren't thinking, because clearly you weren't. But go ahead.
Listen, when you're in the
heat of the moment,
just things come out.
There's a lot of heat because there's a heat with baby, heat with text,
she's
heat with Twitter.
Bad mom.
Okay, see, I tried. I really did try not to say anything about everything. But when you have your ex-girlfriend talking about my kid, we have a problem. And yes, you guys are not mothers, but I beg to differ. Any other mother that's out there who's gonna let somebody talk about their kid, that's
But
a
do
problem.
you understand that you put your kid in the predicament to be spoken about?
Thank you. You took it out of
So
my mouth.
here's the thing. While I might not be a mother, I think that, and again, this is an issue that my family has with me. I have learned that silence makes people so uncomfortable. You haven't learned that yet. When you don't react to people, or you don't give people what it is that they want, you would be surprised at how amazing that is. If going forward from today you decide, you know what, I'm going to try it, and you say nothing, no matter what they say to you, at the end of the day, your baby's a baby. They can say whatever they want. They could say he's ugly. They could say he's a bastard, whatever. At the end of the day, right now,
you're going to fight a lot of battles because when your kids go to school, kids are cruel.
I mean, I was on a bus talking about a little kid.
Are you going to
touch
beat
the
up?
turtle, I'll kick your ass. I mean,
Are you going to beat up every child that plays meanly with you?
No, I'm not. But like I said,
I
it's in the
understand
heat
where
of
you're
the
coming
moment.
from. I understand where you're coming from. They're talking about your child, but you evidently put yourself in a situation where they had the right. You exposed it. You give them the right.
You gave them
the
opportunity
to do that.
to do that to the
Took
kid.
the word right out of my mouth. I told him, I'm like, why do you keep giving Cedric ammunition? Like, he's firing shots at you, but all those was ammunition. And I told you this after, and even when you went, like, a day or two later, you text him, he went and put it on Twitter. Like,
Okay.
you
should now be protecting your child. So you should now say nothing and not give anybody the opportunity. Once you lay low, everybody else will follow. You have to treat people how to treat you. Going forward,
Did you at any point, once you were going through this thing, say, like, be sympathetic,
and then
as he has influence over Cedric, it seems, that you would say, okay,
I didn't ask the brother. I asked Cedric. I was like, so how long have you been thinking about this, and why didn't you come to me and so we could have talked about it? He was like, oh, I don't care. Let's just get this over and done with.
So now he's being the stubborn
Yes.
person. So then, if you're wanting to be womanly, quote unquote, air quotes, seeing as the brother had an affliction about this situation, you could have advised him or spoke with him, as it seems that he has a strong force with how this thing kind of played out. Then
I didn't think about that.
Did you ever think that it wasn't Cedric's?
No. Not.
She said earlier that she was on birth control and she had sex with the other father a month ago, and then she got her period, and she had sex while she was ovulating.
Don't you know that anybody you sleep with is a potential baby dad?
Even if you get your period, you can still get your period and you're pregnant.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I know
Haven't we
that.
watched?
I know,
enough TV to
it's not even on TV. I mean, that's WebMD.
So here's my So I'm just very curious to know, out of all of this, what are the lessons that you've learned?
Strap it up.
And then?
Strap it up. Just be humble.
Well, first of all, you know that anybody you sleep with will be a potential baby daddy. So going forward.
Yes.
I just want to make sure.
I mean, that should have been something that should have been enforced a long time ago. Strap it up. I mean, and then he was a one-night stand, so you didn't strap it up then?
You had a one-night stand and you didn't wear a condom?
Everybody lives and learns.
Yes.
We all make mistakes in our day. We all make mistakes.
It's a lesson learned.
It's a lesson learned.
You learn.
And then what else?
And
besides the pregnancy part, I would just be afraid of, like,
diseases and stuff, yeah, but sometimes you're in the heat of the moment. I can fully understand where she's coming from. Sometimes you're in
you
the heat.
stick it in quickly and you pull it out to pull a condom on. I would much rather want that than you go the whole entire duration of without.
Well, I mean, once you put it in, you might as well just leave it, because if you were gonna get a disease, you didn't got it already. So.
Oh my God.
That's why you should just strap it up from the get-go.
I mean, yes,
Yeah.
ideally, and that should have been the.
So then the next. So then.
been.
Just let's move forward. So the other lesson. Do you not feel and this is my big thing.
Okay.
Older generation. Anything you put in writing, especially now with the internet, do you understand that what you've written is now captured for the entire world forever, and now your son is going to see what you have said and what Cedric said about him being here. Like, that is, you're talking about people, you know, talking about your son and whatever. This is forever in writing for him to see. So what's the lesson about that? Because I'm really big about people, you know, shooting the shit on the internet that lasts forever.
Pou Mwen